Somewhere between no pets ever and sure, bring your emotional support iguana, there's a decision that could seriously affect your rental income as a midterm landlord. If you're hosting traveling nurses and you haven't thought hard about the pet policy question, buckle up, because this one's sneakier than it looks. Traveling nurses move every 13 weeks on average, and a shocking number of them have pets they refuse to leave behind. We're not talking about a goldfish in a Ziploc bag. We're talking dogs, cats, and the occasional creature that makes your property manager age 5 years overnight. Here's the thing most landlords get wrong. They treat the pet question like it's about the animal, when really it's about the tenant. A traveling nurse with a well-behaved golden retriever is statistically a more stable, more responsible, more motivated tenant than someone with zero attachments and nothing to lose. Think about what traveling nurses actually deal with: brutal shift hours, unfamiliar cities, and the kind of emotional weight that would make most of us cry in a Panera parking lot. Their pet isn't just a pet, it's the one constant in a life that changes every few months, and that bond makes them more likely to treat your space with care. Now let's talk about the real fear, which is damage. You've seen the horror stories, the chewed baseboards, the carpet that smells like a kennel, the claw marks that look like a velociraptor had a bad day in the living room. Those stories are real, but they're also manageable with the right systems in place. A pet deposit, a pet addendum, and a clear list of expectations can handle most of the risk before the tenant ever turns the key. Think of it like a terms of service agreement, except instead of 200 pages of legal nonsense, it's one page that says, "Your dog eats my couch, you pay for my couch." The math actually favors saying yes if you set it up correctly. Properties that accept pets in the midterm rental market can charge anywhere from $50 to $200 more per month in pet rent, and that adds up faster than a Labrador adds fur to a black couch. There's also a supply and demand angle here that people sleep on. Most midterm landlords reflexively say no to pets, which means the landlords who say yes are suddenly a rare and beautiful thing to a traveling nurse scrolling through listings at midnight after a 12-hour shift. You become the obvious choice, not just a choice. Now, not every pet situation is equal, and you're allowed to have preferences. Asking for breed and weight information, vaccination records, and even a pet resume, yes, those exist, is completely reasonable and gives you enough information to make a smart call rather than a fearful one. If you're worried about your furniture or flooring specifically, consider furnishing strategically for pet-friendly stays. Leather or faux leather couches, luxury vinyl plank flooring instead of carpet, and washable rugs aren't just pet-friendly choices. They're also easier to clean between all tenants regardless of whether they have a schnauzer or not. Some landlords draw the line at cats, some at dogs over 50 pounds, and some have zero issues with any of it as long as the financials are right. There's no universal rule here, just a spectrum of risk tolerance, and knowing where you fall on that spectrum is more useful than copying what someone else does. The traveling nurse tenant profile is genuinely one of the more reliable ones in the midterm space, because they have consistent income, a contract that explains their stay length, and an employer who often helps with housing costs. Adding a pet to that profile doesn't flip the equation. It just adds one more variable you can plan around. Here's the quiet truth that experienced midterm landlords have figured out. Vacancy is the enemy, not pets. A month of vacancy costs you way more than any pet deposit could ever cover, and if saying yes to a nurse's rescue mutt fills that unit, the math becomes pretty obvious pretty fast. So where does that leave you? Probably closer to yes with conditions than you were when you started this conversation, which is exactly where most thoughtful landlords land after they stop reacting and start calculating. If you want to learn more about how our company helps midterm landlords navigate decisions like this one, check out the links in the description.